So can you tell me, what exactly is healing?
The way that I see healing is basically the whole universe is made of energy. It's something that a lot of people learn when they're like 13 in science class.
Right.
And we learn, basic laws of energy, and the starting point of that is that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be transformed. And so the way that I look at healing is that we're made of energy, and sometimes the energy gets stuck in a particular experience or in a particular emotion, gets stuck in parts of the body as physical tension, it gets stuck in rigid thought patterns and beliefs, it gets stuck in what I would call conditioning, which is the way that we get brought up or the experiences that we have in the society that we're in. And we get contracted, essentially. We become solid things when we're not actually solid things, we're actually energy.
Right. Okay.
And so people will experience different situations in their life that they maybe they don't enjoy, or they don't feel fulfilled in different areas, and that's often because energy has got contracted or stuck in a particular way. And so what healing does is it addresses those areas of contracted energy. So by working energy to energy, we bring in a different frequency, you could say. So we identify where the contractions are, we identify where the blips are, where things aren't working as well. And then we use energy to start dissolving that contraction. So where it feels like it's become solid matter, like really contracted, we bring energy in to just dissolve it and release it.
Right.
And what that enables is sometimes a new perspective, like mentally or emotionally, sometimes a different experience physically, because the body literally releases its tension.
So it's almost like releasing a muscle that's in spasm.
Yeah, exactly. On a deeper level, or on a level that maybe people aren't always aware of, but we're just working on that level to, I wouldn't say remove the blockages, it's more like a process of like dissolving or wearing away the blockages.
Right.
But in a gentle way, so we're not coming in with a sledgehammer or an elbow into a shoulder that's tight. We're actually using the energy so that the body starts to soften, the emotions start to soften, the mental contractions start to soften.
Right.
And it just enables us to see things from a different perspective, or experience things in a different way that wasn't available to us before.
And how long do you tend to work with someone?
It really varies. I have clients who come just for one-off treatments, or when they're having a particular experience that they want to deal with, and then I have other people who work ongoingly with me. Now, it depends on what it is that you want to work on. So if it's something that has been with you for a long time and it's an area of life that you have difficulty in, then often we're going to want to do more than one session.
Sure.
And a lot of people value the ongoing nature of that they can like focus on a particular area, and then we can sort of create a treatment structure.
Right.
So maybe we'll work over 3 weeks, or over 5 sessions, or over 10 sessions, and we'll hold that, and in between the sessions I'll maybe get guided meditations for you to do, or suggestions of different inner work that you might want to do through writing or through dancing or creative play, different things, maybe just going out for a walk. It can be so many different things.
Sure.
But activities that you can take on a daily or weekly basis between the sessions.
Right.
So that you're engaged in your own process. I don't see it like I'm the healer here to fix you.
Sure.
It's more like we're in a process together.
Right.
And I'm just using the skills that I have, and then giving you access to skills that you may or may not have, but giving them in a structured way so that you can use them in your daily life to
Sure.
move in that area.
Right. Wow. And so, do you think that meditation is something that we should do every day?
I think that being quiet for
Yeah.
a few minutes every day is something that a lot of people would really benefit from. It doesn't have to be a structured meditation. For some people that might be walking in nature, or gently pottering in the garden. For some people that might be drawing or painting, dancing. Like, there are many ways that we could be meditating.
Sure.
It's just that we maybe have a very set idea of what meditation is. But for me, it's more like a turning of your attention.
Right.
So when you turn your attention to stillness, or to the particular area of your life that you want to have some transformation in, when you actually actively bring some awareness to that area every day, it really helps it to move. A lot of our world is based on like turn my head away and don't look and hope that it goes away.
Doesn't work.
Most of us find that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And we end up with a bigger problem because we turned our head away. And actually sometimes the simple process of turning attention towards the thing that we're working with is really powerful. And when you're doing that in a held environment, so we're having a session once a week and then between the sessions you're doing that inner work. You're not out on a limb somewhere just like fumbling in the dark.
Sure.
You have access to the resources that I have. You have access to the healing energies. I'm available if something crops up between sessions that you need to talk through, so it becomes more like a supported process.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And when did you start working as a healer?
I first learnt healing when I was 21. I was in India and I was drawn to take a Reiki class, and I didn't know anything about Reiki. I'd actually never experienced it. But I did this course, and I think at the end of the 5 days I was driving back up to where I was staying, and there was just such a feeling of coming home. It was like all the way through education, all the people around me had known what they wanted to do and I had no idea.
Sure.
It didn't make sense to me how you could say. And then all of a sudden I had that like, oh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is home for me.
Right.
So it was a very like very clear, very obvious. This is the path I'm meant to go down, and since then I've studied different healing arts and worked with myself ongoingly with the energy healing, so that it's a work in progress. It's always developing and growing as I grow, as my experience of life grows.
Sure.
So I bring more things in as my conversations with people and interactions with people. Every client brings me new information or understanding of the ways that human beings work, and helps me to deepen the healing work.
Sure. And so for people who don't really understand what Reiki is,
Yeah.
How it can affect them, can you explain exactly how the process, like for example with a healing session, if you were to involve Reiki, what exactly would be involved? How do you go about that session? Say it's a 1 hour session with someone.
Yeah.
Should they expect from it?
Yeah. Normally when I do a session, I do sessions for 90 minutes so that we have ample time. I found that an hour was always squeezing things just a little bit too short, because I tend to want to do about an hour of energy work, and always in a session you need time to get settled in, to have a conversation, what's happening. So we start the session with a 5 or 10 minute dialogue, what's going on for you in your life, what brought you to healing, or if it's a second or third session then it would be like what's happened since the last sessions that we've had. And then we do the energy work, and it's very simple. You keep your clothes on, you're either on a table or possibly like on a mat on the floor, or here in Greenwich I have a nice reclining chair, so it's just very comfortable, and get you into a comfortable position, make sure that you're really comfortable and warm and nurtured. And then I'll invite you to close your eyes, and I'll like connect to the energy, and then gently bring my hands to rest on your body. Often we'll start at the head, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we'll start with the heart or in the belly, occasionally even down at the feet. And by holding the body with a very light touch, there'll be a combination of running energy and using my voice.
Right.
So I use my voice to guide you as you start the session. So we'll start with just like maybe deep breathing to get connected to the body, because oftentimes we don't realize how much we're living in the mind and not even in the body. So I'll invite you to connect into the different parts of your body and use the breath to do that. I'll invite you to really actively give permission for the healing and give permission for the body to relax. So you experience it as something that you're participating in. It's not something that I'm doing to you, that you have no control over. The whole thing's a dialogue. Even though your eyes are closed and you're mostly still, there's a dialogue going on, and at any point that something comes up, you can share and communicate with me. And as the energy runs, what tends to happen is that we feel the body relaxing, the breath gets deeper, maybe not fuller, but deeper, like slower, more rhythmic. The body starts to relax. And that's one of the fundamental things of healing. One of the biggest gifts of healing is that it brings about a level of relaxation that's very hard to attain.
Right.
So most people, even when they meditate, even when they do yoga or exercise, they don't get to that level of relaxation that you can get to in healing. And that, I think, is the fundamental gift that healing brings. Is this deep core relaxation where the body just gets to experience, I'm safe, I'm held, I'm met. Because the body's being met on this level that it doesn't normally get met on. Because we're functioning always on this mental, physical reality level. And there's this other level which is always going on in every human being that doesn't necessarily get acknowledged or tapped into.
Sure.
So we work there, and that relaxation sometimes brings about emotions. So sometimes as we're working, emotions will come to the surface, and I'll just invite you to be with them, just to let them move. Sometimes there'll be spontaneous tears or shaking or maybe laughter even, but often only for a few moments. It's not like a big cathartic session. Often it moves, and then because the body's held and safe, it softens even deeper than that. But whatever comes in a session is really welcomed. And I continue through the session to use my voice to guide you so that you know what I'm doing, if I'm moving around the body, if I sense contraction in a particular area. Sometimes I will see visions of things that have happened in the past, or even in past lives, or I'll experience, sometimes with physical injuries, for example, you might have an injury from a past life or an experience in a past life that didn't get processed, and it gets stored in the body. So sometimes I'll share the visions of that I see, so that you know what's going on, and that can create a rapid shift when it gets resolved in the body. And each session's unique, so in many ways I can't say what will happen. Sure. And I can give a rough outline, but we do approximately an hour of energy work, and sometimes I'll be sitting in one place, sometimes I'll move around, sometimes I'll guide you more than at other times. Sometimes it's really focused just on relaxation, at other times it's focused on processing and moving things. But if there's a particular area that we're focusing on, then we'll work to bring to the surface whatever's connected to that. Because often we're looking at work, for example, that we're not making progress in our work, but actually the blockage is somewhere different.
Sure.
It's in a different area of life, and so intuitively we'll sense into that, and we'll work on the different arenas. We might come at the same issue from different directions on different treatments as the body and mind and emotions start to move and shift with the energy healing.